There have been many times, especially in the darker moments of my life, when I could really feel the presence of Jesus as my protector. One specific example I can vividly recall occurred in the dead of winter about 11 years ago now. I had gotten into another dispute with my family and once again been escorted off the family property. And because this time it was in the dead of winter, finding a comfortable park bench to spend the night was simply out of the question. And so in that particular ordeal, I found myself traveling downtown Toronto to a government facility, making phone calls to various places, desperately in search of a place to rest for the night. And Jesus' presence as my protector comes to mind because during this particular adventure, as I sat in this government complex, making phone call after phone call, trying to find a suitable bed, there was a woman in that same facility who was causing a massive disturbance. I still remember her hair. It was this deep blood red color, kind of Medusa-like, sticking out from her head like a bunch of snakes just protruding about. But perhaps more disturbing was her tone, her demeanor, and the dangerous death-like stare and gaze that she had in her eyes. She sat across from me, her head swiveling left and right, speaking in words that nobody could really make out, and very aggressively hurling these nonsensical words to all the people that were in the room. And it almost seemed inevitable that she was about to physically assault somebody. It was obvious that everyone was doing their best to ignore her, to avoid eye contact with her. And so initially, I did the same. But as I sat there praying for God to just help me find a place to stay and trying to focus on anything except for her, I felt a voice telling me that it was okay, that Jesus was with me, and that I should make eye contact with her, and that things would be all right. So I did. And as our eyes met, I smiled at her. And in that moment, I felt entirely at peace. And amazingly enough, staring back at me, she said nothing and evidently had calmed down. And if you were to ask me, I would say, well, Jesus happened. Because Jesus was with me in my trial as my protector. He stood between whatever was going on with that woman and me. And thankfully, what's more is by the grace of God, I did somehow eventually manage to find a place to sleep for the night.